Hello everybody, it's the Fat Philosopher here. I'm bringing to you my first ever Harley Benton guitar, which is called the TE-90QM, I mean for quilted maple. And as you can see there, it's got red quilted maple on it there. So I bought this guitar, first actually it's a B stock. Usually they're about $250 American, this went for $185. I thought it was a good deal. And it satisfied a certain itch I had. See, I never had a hollow body guitar, never had a T-style guitar, and never had a guitar with P90s, and this had all three of them. So I thought, hey, it's $185. You know, I haven't had a Harley Benton before. It's got three things I've never played before, so why don't you buy it and test it out, okay? So that's what I did. I bought it, tested it out, and let's give you my little thoughts on it. So like I said, overall, you know, it's my first ever guitar to be hollow body P90s and T-style, and what I learned from it is that I don't really like guitars that have P90s hollow bodied and are T-style. You know, it's just not my thing. You know, I kind of more like the middle type axes. And by buying this guitar, I learned that maybe this is not type of design for me here. First of all, I'd like to say I had some reservations buying Harley Bentons because I heard that they were kind of on the heavy end and that they kind of rushed through the making of them. The woods don't dry out quite right, and you know, some people have been a lot of QC issues. Some of it is fine, but a lot of hit and misses that I heard of. But first of all, even though I bought this as a B stock guitar, I like to pleasantly surprised that I had no QC issues at all. The neck joint was fine. There's no scratches or dents on it at all, and actually, I was kind of surprised. Why would this be considered a B stock? I guess maybe it was sold once and was returned, maybe. But there's no real issues at all. The F holes actually have binding on them, and the bottom one's really smooth. The top one's got a little bit of a little sharp point right here, but it's not something you can really see. You're not really staring at it. So, as the quality and I think the top, you know, even it's kind of a dark red, and the quilted maple doesn't come out too good unless you get really close to it. I think it looks really nice. So, fit and finish is very good. Okay, the fret ends were fine. There wasn't really anything really sharp at all at them. I kind of like this fretboard. I usually like ebony fretboards, but this is something called Amarath or something. And it's kind of hard to pick up the thing here, but it's got kind of a streaks in it. It's got like, it's dark brown with these red streaks in it. Like it's, and it kind of comes out kind of cool. I'd never really seen a fretboard this streaky with the red in it. Like it's got an orangey red in it. And it's also the inlays are mother of pearl, which is kind of cool. One thing about, because mother of pearl, they're not consistent really. So like the 7th fret inlay is kind of dark compared to the other ones. And sometimes if you look at the inlay, sometimes you don't pick it up. Oh, this is the 7th fret on it. But other than that, it's very good. I liked I was surprised, usually on cheap guitars, the logo is not so nice, but this Harley Benton's kind of got gold in it, and it looks kind of professional looking, nice logo. Like I've had, like my Sawtooth, just like a black, like stenciled on it, and I see a lot of cheap guitars this year, like black type of very cheap logos on it, but this one looks kind of nicer actually. The headstock's kind of a Telly style, not quite exactly, but it's close, and you know, from a ways away, the guy might be thinking you're playing a Telecaster for sure, for real. Okay, it's got a three-way switch, okay, and 2 P9s by Roswell here, a volume and a tone, 2 F holes, and unbranded tuners, which seem to be fine. This guitar is made in Indonesia. So that's a few things that I liked and didn't. A few things that I didn't kind of like about this guitar, and a lot of it's not actually construction, but like the type of guitar it is. These hollow body. First of all, the neck joint is really thick, right? Like I was surprised, you know, maybe, you know, how thick. This is not a guitar you can really play, and it kind of impedes your playing. Like this is not a guitar you really play on the 20th fret or anything like that, right? It's just. It kind of gets in the way. This is kind of up to about the 15th fret's comfortable, maybe 17 is fine. But when you get off past the 17th fret, you know, it's not very comfortable at all. These pickups, these Roswell pickups, of course, you know, with the P90 pickups. You know, I'm not really a fan of the way P90s look. You know, kind of like two bars of tofu or something stuck in the middle of a guitar. And it was my first P90, so I was surprised how bright these pickups were. They're really bright and really highly wound, and so it's kind of surprised me at first. But, you know, you adjust your amp and to compensate for it, and it plays okay. But generally, this guitar plays in like country and rock fine. These kind of pickups are not really good for metal. They just don't really take the high gain all that great. Like, you can get through it and stuff, but it just doesn't quite have the, you know, a humbucker type of growl that you'd expect from like playing thrash metal. So, well, I didn't buy this guitar to play thrash metal, but if you want a guitar that does everything, this is probably not the guitar for you, right? The neck is a C shape. It's not very thick. I think it's manageable. The back of the neck was a little rough when I got it, but after playing it for a couple of months, you know, your hand oils get into it, and it smooths out nicely. But the very first time I thought, oh, it's a little rough. But you know, you play it for a little while and then that kind of goes away. The tuners function fine. You know, they're not anything to write home about, but they work fine. The volume and, you know, pots are all fine too. The switch works as it's supposed to. The bridge is kind of nice. You know, it doesn't really, it's just a string through construction there, but it doesn't really have anything sticking out and getting in the way, and it doesn't really take from the aesthetic too much. One thing that wasn't so liked about this guitar is that the action was really high on it when it came. Maybe it's a shipping thing, but it's like they're really well off the fretboard there. I set it up myself, but I really couldn't get it really low. Like, I couldn't get it to like the 1.5 millimeter that I usually play at. And I did the setup myself. I took it to my luthier friend, and he said, well, I can't really do any better than you did. You know, that's what it's going to be like, you know. So if you want something really super low action, this is not the guitar for you. If you want, you know, I've got it fairly nice, maybe 2 millimeter now. But still, when it comes to playing certain type of music, it's just, if I want something really low action, I'm going to go to my Schecter or to my Sahana, right? This is not the guitar for me. Okay, this guitar is supposed to be made of chambered mahogany. It's got a maple net, like I said, an Amaranth fretboard. Where the heck that is, I don't really know. And chrome hardware. And it's got a transparent high gloss finish. I kind of like gloss. I know people like satin, but satin seems kind of delicate to me. Or matte finishes seem kind of delicate to me. Gloss seems like it's going to last a while. So, well, it's a fun guitar to play. Like I said, it's got its limits though. So it's not something I might keep around too much, right? You know, it's like I said, I learned that from this, I'm not really T-style, hollow body, P90 type of player. You know, I'm going to stick to my metal guitars. So this might be seeing its day, but otherwise it's okay. Now, as for the chick test, like I actually work with mostly a female staff. Like the 80% of where I work is women. So I take a guitar and ask them, and they really like this guitar. They said, "Oh, it looks like a violin," you know, and with like the F holes on it. And it's kind of a big hit. So the aesthetic for women was very pleasing. So you want something that the girls will like, this might be a guitar you might consider. But anyways, like I was a little bit pleasantly surprised at the Harley Benton. It's better made than I thought it was going to be. Even though maybe this particular guitar, its style is not really my bag so much. So I might be selling it off here. But I enjoyed the time I had it here, and if you want to consider it, please check it out yourself. Go to the Thomann app or the website, and you can pick up this for about, like I said, about $250 new. Maybe get a little bit cheaper if you get a B stock. Anyways, this is a left-handed version too. So, anyways, that's my review, and I hope you enjoyed it. Salut!